Hi, Pete Moore, editor of Shooting Sports Magazine here. Welcome to Gun Mart TV, and we have the new 17 Winchester Super Magnum. As you can see, 2.2 Magnum, classic old style, about 1800 feet per second with a 40 grain bullet. The much loved and hated 17 HMR, that's a 17 grain bullet around about 2500 feet per second. And the 17 WSM, which Winchester bill as the world's most powerful rimfire, which technically it is. This one is running a 20 grain Hornet VMAX bullet at approximately 3000 feet per second, which is pretty quick. So it really outguns the 17 by around about 500 feet per second. The rifle is from Savage and it's called the B.MAG. There are two versions. This is the sort of Varmint, has a very nice heavier thumb hole type laminate stock, heavyweight 22-inch barrel. The down from that is a plastic stock gun, thinner barrel, basically same action, same everything, it's just a bit cheaper. Of the two, I feel this has the more potential. It's a reasonably standard bolt action. Some things I do like about it, some things I don't. As you can probably see, the bolt handle has this very odd sort of tubular ball end on it, which is okay, just looks a little bit strange. And it cocks on closing, which is like an old 303 style, and it's quite firm when it closes. There's a tang mounted safety just here. It's well dug in, I can see it, but it pulls back for safe, pushes forward for fire. And the other unusual thing I found about the safety catch is that if you fire the gun and put it on safe, when you shut the bolt again, the action doesn't recock. So the safety catch has to be set to fire to cock the action. Not a big deal, but it's just something else to get used to. The gun locks by 3 lugs back here, so you get it's quite strong and firm. What else about the gun? It runs on a Rotary Magazines, similar in concept to the Ruger 1022 series. So it takes the mag takes 8 rounds. Just fits in, locks in like so. You give it a bit of a push. It's got a Savage Accu trigger in it, which if you've probably heard the Accu about to run it again. Basically, it's a mechanism that the shooter can set to their own preference, weight-wise, and it has a fail-safe position, so you can't set it too light. If you do, it goes into fail-safe, and the gun won't fire, which is quite sensible because some light triggers can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Basically, the action comes out of stock, pull it out, twiddle the adjuster, and set it up. This is set up quite nicely for approximately. It's about probably 3.5–4 pound pull. It's crisp, it's quite nice. And of course with the Accu trigger you have this Glock type inner safety blade here. Basically the trigger won't work unless you take a good position on it. Up front on this gun we have a new moderator from UK Custom Shop, Wildcat Custom Rifles. It's called the Panther 17. It's a reflex design. Basically it's an outgrowth of their earlier Whisper 17. I've been testing it and it's proved pretty good on sound moderation. It's not too big and it doesn't stick out too much. On top, again in keeping with the whole WSM concept, is we have the new one of the new bushel rimfire scopes with a dedicated BDC bullet correction reticle that goes in 50-yard increments out of 350 yards. We've had this out to 300 yards and we found that typically a small 17 caliber bullet, it can be badly wind affected, but it was a windy day, but we had it striking out to 250 quite easily, so not a bad distance for what is, though it's the most powerful rimfire to date, still quite a small easy cartridge. Apart from that, I quite like thumb holes. It's quite a pretty looking stock. Comes up nicely, hands in. So really, let's give it a shoot. Mag locks in, push forward down, and you're there. The cock-on closing bolt takes a bit of getting used to because it is really different to most guns who are cock-on opening. And also you've got to be a little bit careful when you shut the bolt, because as you push forward on most bolt guns, you tend to be pushing down the lever, and it's possible to drop the lever before the gun locks. The gun won't fire, but it's just something, it's nothing wrong with the design, it's just an idiosyncrasy of the design that the shooter's required to think about. See, I did it there. But overall, it's certainly different, and it will bridge the gap between 222 and even 17 Hornet from the 17 HMR. We don't know how it's going to sell yet in the UK, but I think it has a lot of potential if you're looking for this sort of rifle. And it will mean I can shoot my 17 HMR on a good windless day off a support out to 200 yards and head shoot hares and rabbits with it on a windless day, I stress. This is going to stretch the legs, I would say, on a good day, 250, 300 yards, maybe a bit more with this little baby. But it's interesting, it's unusual, and you saw it first here on Gun Mart TV.